The founding convention of our organization to push for the rights of workers in the flood zone in Cedar Rapids and beyond, hopefully. We're being occupied, well, the flood victims have been occupied since the flood by the bourgeois city council of Cedar Rapids and the state and federal governments.
Marlon's going to be our scribe, and we're coming up with names.
I'll be taking minutes right now. We're doing a vote on the official name for the coalition. And the current options are Cave People or the Justice for Our Neighbors Coalition. Are there any other names that should be entered before we take a vote?
What do you think, Greg?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Maybe Neighbors Coalition, huh?
Neighbors Coalition.
Could be.
Cave People sounds like we're...
It was what the bourgeois gave us, right?
That's what they gave us.
So maybe we shouldn't take
shouldn't
it.
use it.
Maybe we should be affectionate towards it.
We should.
See, they call us citizens against virtually everything, and we say citizens already victimized enough.
What we try to do with that is take it away from them as a negative and make it into a positive.
One thing I did,
and we can make it into a positive in many, many, many ways, as we have. And we can continue doing that. When people describe us as cave, then we'll say, oh, yes, we're community activists, active virtually everywhere, you know,
well, that's
that type of thing.
We would have at least in this town, the city council and some of the other people amongst the city staff,
that's what they call it.
They're already using this reference. So it's already got its own
but that, as far as the official name, it doesn't have to be cave.
No.
All right, how about this? Let me make a proposition here. We could form a nonprofit, or we could start our own business and be community consultants. And we've got the people right here. We could go down and get a tax ID number. Simple, very simple.
Well, you can do both.
We could be community consultants. It could be employee-owned, which means everybody has their own cost.
Yeah.
Or brings their own talent.
Yeah.
Well, you know how to do it.
It could be on various levels. It's a business idea that I've had for at least a year now.
Yeah.
And you know,
board of directors, just
board
like
of directors,
any group.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we could really make a big difference depending on the wording that we use. Like that. The wording really matters. And so, I don't know, it's just something I want to throw out there. So maybe the 501c4 might be okay, the 501c3. But maybe we just want to form, and Greg says we could do both. Maybe we just want to form our own business.
I think it would actually be preferable to found as a nonprofit. Just the idea, like community consultants, I just think that would kind of give the wrong impression with regards to like what we want to do. You know, I think that would give the impression of like...
Let's say community activists. What? Community activists instead of consultants?
I like that wording better.
Do you like activists better? I don't mind that. I'm an activist.
Well, what would the business model be, though?
Well, you know, we would maybe make it easier for the city or whatever to communicate with people like us that are upset or, you know, let's make that house idea. You know, I want somebody to come in and help me convince them that this is a good idea.
It enables us to apply for those contracts that other people are taking to be community consultants.
Oh, so it would actually give us the ability if we
to bid on contracts.
Oh, okay. So it would actually contribute to the workers' management.
But see, in order to bid on contracts, you're not a non-profit organization.
Yeah, non-profits can't bid on contracts.
Really, you're more or less a working for profit if you're being a consultant that, you know,
that's what they hire.
So if this workers' council ever had any flesh to it, might be contracted with them.
Well, as long as it were, you know, worker-owned and controlled, I don't see why that would be a problem.
I would say it'd be employee-owned. I mean, we each have our own investment. You can invest as much or as little as you want. Just depending, but you would, you know, there would be a board meeting. There would be. We'd have to have focus groups big time. We just wouldn't want to go off and make decisions like the city council currently does.
Well, yeah, we'd have to be. No,
it would have to be bottom up.
It would be flexible enough that we'd get members all the time, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it'd be like, you know, a quasi-party.
I mean, we're not going to charge them
No,
to be
no.
a part of the,
No.
you know, but they would have to at least
Yeah.
apply.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I don't know
that sounds good.
the ins and outs yet, but I've been
I've been
thinking about
wanting
it.
to be associated with somebody who knows a lot about that, and I've failed so far.
You've been what?
I've failed so far to find someone who knows something about that, like you do. We had a guy, Lepers Fidelis, you know him.
Yeah.
He tried to do a non-profit thing with us, and we got lost in it.
Well, and that's the thing is, do we want to do the nonprofit? Because if we do the nonprofit, that isn't benefit the workers really. If you think about it,
Yeah.
because a nonprofit. You know what I'm saying?
Do political parties have non-profit arms like that?
Some of them do. Some don't. I'm not sure actually with the Democratic group.
If we're talking about workers, we should probably create a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do
Yeah,
believe
because most of the workers are unemployed, aren't they?
yeah.
Here's the biggest
And that's
problem
the
you got
biggest thing
talking about the
we've got
difference
going on.
between profit and non-profit, is that once again, you fall into the same gap that everybody else
Okay,
falls
cool.
in, like CCI and
Yeah.
all of them. What we're talking about is the difference between where the money comes from. That's the only reason you'd be profit or non-profit one way or another. I mean, if most of your money is going to come out of solicitation of donations and those kinds of things, or grants or whatever, you would want to be a non-profit organization so you don't have to deal with all those profit tax issues and some of those other kind of things.
And
Where if you, in order to bid on contracts for something that is like a job, then you're going to have to go more
That would be
in a
beneficial
type
to
of
the
direction.
workers.
And also, as part of the definition of nonprofit, is it depends on how, what the money is used for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
To generate
Right.
profit or to help others. And I think we need to show some nonprofits how that's supposed to actually work.
So you're thinking more on the nonprofit.
So you're thinking of different, what we state what
I'm
yours was?
thinking about a business.
So we
Well,
wouldn't have to have that
Tax
barrier.
ID number.
Yeah, and now business then is another thing. There's no reason you can't do both.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
mean, you set up a non-profit organization so that, things can start just like anything else. And if there are people that want to take money that they have personally and start a business, I mean, all the non-profit does is set up them with the education on how to get a business started. You know what I
That's
mean?
an idea.
They get into a non-profit, they
Sort of
learn how
like the-
business starts, and then
Sort of like the
go and get
JCs.
the paperwork to start a profit business will seem like, wow, that's easy.
A JC's for nonprofit.
What, does that sound like it interferes with our mission at all?
Well, I'm not sure. It could be beneficial. It's just as long as we make it clear in our public message and whatnot that what we envision as the organ of Reconstruction is a unified victims council of everyone who lives in the flood damaged areas. I mean, we certainly don't just envision like this group here becoming the new city council type of entity.
No, we're
not talking about
we're just
city
the
council.
we're the creators of it. We're kind of one of the ones that found it. Then basically the victims council is going to be the victims. People like you and me really won't
We
qualify.
gotta call them survivors.
Survivors or whatever you want. Yeah, whatever the occupied territory people
Is that
are.
like is that a more appropriate word?
It's more
for-
politically
okay.
correct these days, yeah.
I was
Make them
wondering
stuff
which
like
one.
that.
Yeah, survivors would be good.
I always tell people I'm flood
I-
impacted.
I suppose anybody was impacted by the
Any kind of-
policy since then, and
Any kind of victims of victimization
Right.
would rather
You
be
can put that